Hey guys, welcome to my next video in the JSON tutorial for beginners. In this video, we will discuss the JSON and the XML format and how to parse the JSON and XML files. Now, both the JSON and the XML files formats are used to send and receive the data from the server or to send the data to another page. In the right side of the image, I am showing you the JSON file format. In the right side, it's a XML format. It has the information about employees, his first name and last name. But here in the XML file, it is student's name and his info. His first name is Mark and the last name is Henry. This is XML file format. The similarities between XML and JSON files. The JSON file and XML format files can be parsed and used by many programming languages. JSON and XML files can be requested using the XML HTTP request. By creating the XML HTTP request, you can send the request to the server. You have to send the data or the file content or the file content. Both the files are self-describing, like here you can see in the XML format, there are number of students, the arrays. Within the student array, the single student is represented by the tags single student and the student. But in the JSON, you can see the employees. These are number of many number of employees data. This is like arrays. First name John and the last name Doy, about one employee, and the second employee first name Mark and the last name is Henry. These are self-describing formats. These dissimilarities between JSON and XML files. JSON can have the array value, but XML cannot hold the array values. JSON is represented in few lines with no closing and opening tags. You can see here we are using the closing and opening tags for representing in XML format. We are not using in JSON. JSON files can be easily read and write than the XML files. XML files has to be parsed with the XML parser only, but JSON can be parsed with any other parser also. Like you can parse in, you can decode the JSON files in Python, PHP, like using in PHP using the JSON decode, JSON encode for creating the JSON objects, and decode for creating the PHP object like this. You can parse with any other parsers also. JSON is like ready to use JavaScript object. In coming to the JavaScript field, it is like a similar to JavaScript object. While retrieving the data from the XML format, we have to extract the values first and we have to store it. But using the JSON, we can fetch the data after parsing it. I will show you the simple example. Parsing JSON files in JavaScript. JSON.parse, and in taking the argument as the JSON file or the text file. After parsing the string data, the data will be converted to the objects. Inside the file.json, it will be like this: name John and the place England. Now I will explain how to send the request to the server. Now first you create the XML HTTP request object in JavaScript first. Later you assign XML HTTP to that request object to where XML HTTP, and this will be used only if the data files present within the same server only. The ready state will hold the status of the request is XML HTTP request. Like the sent request, whether it is initialized or not, it will be ready state will be 0. When ready state will be 1, the server connection has been established between client and server. Second, the request has received by the server. Third, when ready state is 3, the server is processing the user request. When the ready state will become 4, the server will send the response to the client request. If the requested file is JSON or the string data, we get the data from that file using response text. If it is the XML file, we use response XML. If we check the status of the request 200, yes, it is okay. Or if the status of the request is 404, the request given by the client will not be found. The client uses open and send method in sending the request. XML http.open get is the method. You can use the get or the post method. Second argument will be the second is the file name from which you are fetching the data, and the third argument is to perform this request in the synchronous method or asynchronous method. If it is true, you will be performing this action in asynchronous mode. Then at last, XML http.send method will sends the request to server. The request status changes, then you have to perform some functions. So call the function on ready state change, http dot on ready state change. Now you call the function, take this and create the block and enter. If this object state ready state is equals to 4 and this dot status equals, and this should be ampersand status equals 200. If ready state is equal to 4 and status is equal to 200, it is ready to send the data. Body section, I create one more element and I name this ID with the data, press enter. Now select that element using document dot get element by ID data dot inner HTML is equal to response dot text, response text. Since it is from this object, you add this dot response text and the data will be received. Now to which page you are requesting the data? So to specify that, http dot open, it takes the 3 arguments you have already known. The method we are using like post and the file name is demo.json, and since it is requesting in asynchronously, we keep this flag as true and end with semicolon, and send the request http dot send. Now our work is finished. Now save the file and execute in Chrome. Now we are inside the directory JSON. Now I will click this JSON parsing.html. Now you can see all the data: class, first standard, students, student name, the John Doe, roll number 21, and there is the student, second student name John Doe, roll number 21, and which I have given in the same, like in the JSON demo JSON, the same name I have given. I will change it now. 22, 23. I will make this James and save the JSON file, and you refresh the page. Now you can see the JSON data has been changed: roll number 22, roll number 23, and etc. Now you can also use this as a JSON object, like this dot response text. You change it to the JavaScript objects by using the JSON.parse function. Now create the variable where data is equal to JSON.parse this dot response text. You end this semicolon. Now you paste here. Now you change the element value with where data. Okay, now save it and refresh the page. Now you are not seeing any data. Now I will access the property of this object dot, which I have given the class dot class. You save it and refresh the page. Oh, something I have missed here. Here I have missed to add this toString method to the response text. Now this JSON parse will parse the data. Now you save it and run it in the Chrome. You can see here the first standard, which is in the demo JSON first standard. You can also access the value students array. I will show you, like by adding what is it, students dot data dot students, and save it and execute. Here you can see all these are object. Now you convert this to string. I think now you can wait, I will by data is the object name, dot students is a property. Inside that property you are accessing this. Inside this students you are accessing student name, means students dot student of 0, first element in the array, with the std name. Save the file and execute. Here you can see John Doe. Here is John Doe. Like the video, please do subscribe to my channel and tap the bell icon for the further updates. Thank you.